What you see in another is never the whole truth. It is only the small slice of their total being that your nervous system has come to recognize. In today's conversation, I want to explore what illusion perception truly is, how it is a virtual reality that you have nearly total control of. But that total control is also veiled behind yet another illusion that it is all happening to you. So let's unfold today's conversation. My name is Boris, and I want to welcome you to Beyond the Matrix. Beyond the Matrix, why? Beyond the Matrix is to be beyond this self uh, imposed limitation of believing in perception as if it were reality. Here's the important distinction: the mind, this body's mind, right? The mind that is thinking in the language in which you speak, that mind has been trained on certain data, just like an AI algorithm. Now, what data is that? That data, we can collectively put one label that will be true for all of that data, and that label is past. So the mind has no distinction between memory and what is actually unfolding in reality. Presence, your lucid aware presence, draws that distinction and separates the two. In that moment of recognition that the thoughts that you think about what's happening in the scenario that's unfolding in your life are simply regurgitations of the past, and then you can question them. You say, wait, when I behold this thought, how do I feel? Is there any peaceful reason for me to hold on to this perspective? And always you're going to find that anything that doesn't feel like peace, there's no reason to hold on to it, because as this inquiry deepens in you, as you come to recognize this distinction within yourself, you realize that anything that takes away peace is simply false. It is false information. It is a misperception. And being a misperception, it has no power except the power of your belief, right? So when we, now let's bring it into what the original quote was pointing out, when we perceive others, when we are in relational dynamics with either people in the public that we see on TV or social media, all of that is pure projection from our consciousness in terms of what we think we see, because we don't even really know the person. And those that we think we know so intimately, so completely, because we're spending so much time with them, that person, you only know a tiny slice of their being. That slice, which your nervous system has come to recognize. And what does that mean? That also means that you have a frozen image of them in your mind. You think that this person is a particular way, that they have these qualities and not those qualities, that they'll do great in this but not in that. And this is all so clear and so real and so solid in your mind that you believe that it's reality. Your mind mistakes it for reality, when in fact it is pure conjecture. It is an opinion. It is, in essence, at the core of it, always a fallacy because it's incomplete. Yes, those qualities are a part of the person that you're seeing, but they're also part of you. They're also part of me, right? Any quality that you see in humanity is always going to be as well part of you. And that's the great equalizer, is to realize that everything is shared. Just like A Course in Miracles talks about, all minds are joined. That means that all thought is shared. And so there are no private thoughts. And thus, the way that you navigate your inner virtual reality, this dome, let's say, of perception, that perception influences and impacts that which you perceive. right? And this is that famous quantum uh, science experiment, right? Quantum physics experiment of the observer effect. When we observe with expectation, we influence what we observe to, in one way or another, interact with that expectation. The thing that liberates us from the past, because if you really consider this, like think about you and who you were and the mistakes you made and the things that have happened to you in the past. And if somebody just kind of freezes you and you are this kind of person just because I saw what you did back then, back there, and now imagine this is multiplied and everybody's thinking and seeing you as that kind of person, what kind of effect will it have on you? How easy is it going to be for you to be like, of course, that's not who I am? Because we are social beings, because we are part of the social fabric, it is almost inevitable. In fact, by the laws of consciousness, we are also impressed upon by those who witness us, inevitable that we will begin to kind of form in ways uh, either direct conforming and being in the way that they see us, or trying to be a rebel and to rebel against that perspective and try to be the opposite. But that's still not our authentic self, right? It is simply a reaction to something that has occurred. So the way out and the way through this maze of perception is to, first of all, become really clear and lucidly aware. What I'm seeing is perception. This that presents itself as the whole reality of the person that I see or the circumstance is not the whole reality. It's a tiny slice of it. It's one facet, just like a diamond has many facets. This is just one facet of many, a way to look at this situation or this person. And when we open that door, now all the other facets become available to us. And now we can make a new choice. We can begin to open to say, well, how would love see this person? How would love behold this circumstance? How would peace express itself here? If peace were to emerge in my perception of this, what would that look like? So, what I want to do is, I want to invite you to begin to apply these questions, this inquiry, to your own thoughts. And in the comments below, please share your results. Share how a certain situation, when you begin to ask a new question, begins to transform in front of your eyes.
I'm already love, already joy, already peace, already whole. I see the infinite potential flowing through my soul. God is living my life, I'm just a witness to his plan. I surrender to the flow, I let go, I let it stand.